Alrighty, a little bit of a garage update for you all, since I really haven't made a walk around update on what's changed lately. Nothing new with the 318. It's still been the go-to mowing tractor. Just the grass hasn't really been growing much since it's been in the dead of summer and a little dry. Yeah, garage still looks like a mess, I know. But the log splitter's back in the garage. Got some other parts, some other engines and whatnot. The ST16 with the snow cab, it's gone. That's the engine from it. The ignition module came out of this to go in the nice ST16 because that tractor lost spark. I think it might be due to the spark plug wire having issues. There's the hood for the pulling SS16. I have decided I am going to go with an SS16 front end on this thing. I'm not sure if I'm still going to continue on with this build or just pull the engine out and put it in something else and sell the rest of it, because yeah, it is a pile. I mean, it needs an axle seal on this side because it leaks bad, and the trans shifts kind of hard, but that's just because it needs oil. As far as tractors that are gone, the Roper Hydro Drive that was right there, that's sold. The 69 Hydro 12 that I got from Rooney, that's sold. Both of those went to, I believe it's Shifting Gears on YouTube. He bought Rooney's GT18 probably about 5-6 years ago. The David Bradley 725 and the Cub 1811 went to my friend Ben. So those are gone. Not much else is new in here. I got this push mower from work. You guys can read that. Scrap. Well, it needed an engine shroud, and I went through the carb, and the kill wire on the coil was unplugged. Just those few simple things. Added a little bit of oil to it. Oh, and then I replaced that wheel there with another good used one, because the original one, the bearings were shot in it. But it's been a good mower. Runs just fine. I have a Super 6 2-barrel carb, an intake setup for the 83 Dodge. These are rather rare and desirable to find. I got a really good deal on it from a local junkyard. The Craftsman GT6000 is getting steering work. I have one wheel off because I'm going to change the tire on it. Here's that gear I was trying to show you guys before. So you can see there's a tooth broken there and 2 broken here. This bushing's fine. This plastic one, however, it doesn't look terrible on that side, but then you get over to this side and that hole's all wallered out. It's not even round, it's an oval. So I'm going to make one out of metal, or at least I'm going to try to. I'm just going to get 2 bushings, or 2 pieces of like pipe, and then find a bronze bushing that will fit inside the pipe. That's the correct inside diameter to meet this steel bushing, and then the same size as the steering shaft. And then I'll just have like a plate welded in between. So it'll be very similar to how this looks. It'll just be made out of metal. So then that way it'll last a little bit longer. And I won't have weird torquing on the gears. Because that's the problem with the plastic. This bolt goes through the plastic, and then the gear, it goes onto the gear like that. Well, you put strain on the steering, and this bolt wants to walk back and forth, or it wants to try and force itself away from the steering gears. That's just the way it wants to work. And well, with it being plastic, the plastic is a little bit flexible, so it causes the steering to wear out. Other than that, today in the mail, Vredestein V61s. Finally bought myself a pair of them. They weren't cheap, but you know, I got the best deal I could find from gigatire.com. They're going to go on these rims here. These tires are all cracked and dry rotted, but these are wide Sears rims. And these will probably end up on the front of the diesel, the 67 diesel. Got a free pressure washer from work today, and the motor had no compression in it. Oopsies. That would be why. Snapped a connecting rod, but the block itself looks fine. I did hone the cylinder already, and I already cleaned up the crank. Crank doesn't really look bad at all. Has marks of being run, but it's not scored badly. And a really odd thing, for a pressure washer, it is a straight crank. It is not a tapered crank. Something I've never seen before. So I figured, oh, what the heck. If I can't rebuild this engine, because a piston and connecting rod for this thing is like 40 bucks. Honda parts, they're cheap. I was surprised to see how cheap they were. And from what I could tell, they were genuine Honda parts. The only thing I might end up changing as well if I rebuild this engine is this. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. I don't think that the whole governor is supposed to be flopping up and down like that. Because this gear, which is the timing gear, see the timing belt runs on this gear like this. The teeth on the outside run the governor. Well, as you can see, the teeth on the gears don't line up when it's in line with the crank, so the governor might have failed on this thing, and it might have revved to the moon, and that's what caused it to go boom. Could have been low on oil, I'm not sure. But overall, I mean, the pressure washer is in decent shape. And I figured, well, if the engine's shot, the pump is probably not. So I figured, oh, well, I'll try and put another engine on it. Doesn't owe me anything. I didn't pay anything for it. And out in the shed, there's not much new. I mean, really, it's just tractor storage back here. And it's probably going to be pretty dark since it is probably, gosh, after 8 at least. 69 Suburban 12. Just chilling. Has the hubcaps sitting on top of it off of the 69 Hydro. Since those are my hubcaps I put on there. The 67 diesel's right there. Nice SS16 is there. Andy Asbury's Roper Hydro is there. 10.6 in the back. HT14 in the back. And the SS14 in the back. So, yep, that's all there is. Yeah, the only new addition is that Craftsman GT6000. And it was, of course, an impulse buy, but I've liked those body style of tractors. Heck, my grandfather had one that he gave me before he passed. And I absolutely love that tractor. It has the 18 horse Briggs. The engine sounds like a box of bolts because it's seen better days. But man, is that thing reliable. So when I saw that GT 5000, or sorry, not 5000, 6000 come up, I figured, yeah, why not? I'll snag it. So, yep, that's pretty much what's going on around here. A real big hot mess. So, until I have something interesting to show you guys, like when I get these tires mounted up and on a tractor, I'll show you that. But for now, enough of this. I'll talk to you later.